Hey everyone, welcome to yet another edition of Willie B Drinks Beer. I'm sorry there's been like a brief hiatus, but hopefully it'll all be worth it. Oh hey,
Why hello.
welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here. I've obviously been following you since the beginning.
Since the beginning.
So yeah, it's a great pleasure to be on. What's in store for us on tonight's show?
Well, I don't know. You brought a bunch of beers, didn't you?
I did.
Where did you come from?
I came from France. Would you like to? We could try one of my beers on the show.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I'd
Really?
love that.
Really?
I'd really enjoy that. Yeah.
Oh wow,
that would be
okay.
sick.
So
Yeah.
let me go and fetch that. Right, so what I got. If it's okay for us to try
Oh, yeah.
this one, yeah.
Yeah, that one looks good.
So this one, show it up to the camera, nice and close. So it's called. It's from Fonteinen. So Dre meaning three.
Yep.
Three, I believe so. And it's called Intens Rood. My Dutch isn't the best, but what I would say that means is intense red. And so it's a lambic beer.
Yep.
So kind of
Yep.
wild fermented, spontaneously fermented beer. So it's going to be kind of quite sour, wild, funky, farmyardy.
Yep.
I guess that's what I would say.
I'm hoping for that.
But it's intense root. So root, I think, means red.
Yeah.
Red because basically this one is a lambic, but it's been put into macerated cherries and mixed around with that. That's what I understand for a beer of this type, which is called a Kriek.
Yep, Kriek, yeah, awesome. Well, also I think you were saying Dre Fonteinen, so Dre is three, but the other thing is like the second half of it is Fonteinen, which I believe means fountains. As you can see, like on the bottle, there's kind of like a fountain emblem at the top, and I love the branding on this. Like half of beer is about the branding sometimes, isn't it? You know, you
Perhaps 55-60%.
yeah, you get very drawn to what it looks like, and I think the thing about Dre Fontaine is just the simplicity of the sort of painted three that they have on the front. Of
They
every bottle.
actually, I think it's a rebrand. So originally, they
Oh,
had
yeah,
more
it
kind
is.
of traditional
You're right.
Belgian branding. So they're from the Brussels area because lambic beer has to be from the Brussels area. I think the
Really? So
Pajottenland is where.
so you can't brew it in America and be like cool.
So you can
Lambic,
brew lambic style beer, but I
Okay.
think to
Yeah.
actually call it lambic and for the people from this part of the world to be happy, it needs to be from this part of the world, which is I think called the Pajottenland. It's kind of I think it's like kind of plains around Brussels, kind of flat.
Yeah, Flanders, and I think it's like the
Yeah.
Flemish region where they speak a bit of Dutch there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm actually really excited for this beer. I don't think I've tried any of the Intens Rood. I've tried Dre Fonteinen before, but not this one. So I'm pretty happy that you brought this. Which vintage is it? Does it give them information about that and what's kind
It
of
does.
alcohol
It
volume?
does. There's a lot of transparency there. So if we look kind of closely up here, we can see there's a 17 and an 18. So it's kind of 2000 to 2018.
So
season,
we're
I
about to
suppose.
drink a sort of 4 or 5 year old beer. 4 or
Yeah, I
5 year
think
old.
so. So these beers often age for a few years, I believe. It's got a best before date actually, which
Really?
I don't tend to see.
Interesting. Because you could age
well,
this, couldn't you?
You could, but they recommend that you don't age it past 2038.
Oh, right. Well, cool. I don't think I have that patience.
So I think we should get on with it and open
Yeah.
it up because
Does
we
it,
don't wanna- otherwise we'll end up in 2038.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
does
Let's
it-
go. So it's actually, I saw it's 6.6%. So it's actually,
6.6%.
it's pretty doable, pretty sessionable, to use the way too oft used
Think so.
phrase.
Think
And
so.
then it says assemblage, numero 85.
Yeah, 85. I suppose. Yeah. From
80,
the-
how do you say? 85.
85.
Yeah, sweet. All right.
In
My
Belgium,
French
they
is-
probably have a different accent, so I have, I suppose, a muddled, dodgy French
Oh,
accent. But
I love the way these things pop.
it's gonna
Pop
stand,
like his heart.
stand back. It's 4th of July. Watch out
Alright.
for fireworks. Can we see the gas? Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
I did. I saw like a little bit.
You did. I
Yeah.
did, but they won't.
Oh.
Right. So what should we do? Should we?
Yeah, just give it a little pour. And this is great for sharing as well, coming in at 750 ml, so bomber size for all you Americans out there. This is this is a great sharer size.
Let's
Yeah.
take them. Show it some fun at home.
The anticipation. Okay, so it's a very dark red colour. Some might say an intense red colour, intense rood colour. Decent amount of carbonation. It almost looks creamy. The carbonation. Do you know what I mean? It kind of or silky smooth.
There's a lot of weight to it. I didn't normally expect to see that with this kind of beer.
Yeah, and it seems like it's very settled. It's not kind of going crazy with the carbonation still. You giving it a sniff?
Yeah, just give me a little sniff. I'm getting ahead of the program, but
Oh my goodness, yeah, cherries right up there.
kind of
And
woody.
it smells like a balanced beer. It doesn't smell like it's going to be insane acidity. It smells like there's going to be some acidity, but the sweetness of the cherries is probably going to balance that out. And yeah, I mean, Dre Fontenen's yeast is probably, it's kind of like gold dust, really, isn't it? In the brewing world, like to brew something with Dre Fontenen's yeast, which is what gives the unique flavor that they produce, like that. Yeah, be pretty amazing to get your hands on that. All right, are you ready? Should we try it?
Let's have a little.
Santé.
Santé. Wow.
That's so freaking good.
Very, very cherry. We're not far from Cherry Hills, actually, aren't we? Yeah, Cherry Hills.
Oh yeah, that's right, just up the road. But yeah, this cherry it's not really sweet. It's kind of medium sweetness and slightly more acidic than maybe I'd expected. It kind of clings the back of my mouth, like on the finish.
It's very dark cherry, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. These kind of beers often they're kind of half cider, half wine, half beer.
So that's 3 halves.
And three Fonteines.
Yeah, but it's really great. I definitely would say this is a very special beer to try. I think it would pair well with cheese for sure.
I would say quite harsh cheese.
Like a blue cheese?
No, potentially. I would go for something a hard cheese like Manchego or something.
Or
like
Gruyere. Yeah. Do you want something that's kind of a little bit creamy, I guess? Because blue cheeses are very funky, whereas a Manchego is got a little bit creamy, funky.
You can kind of go for the contrast or the stuff that builds. So maybe cream cheese would build.
Cream cheese?
So the beer
cream
would be
fish.
Cream fish, half beer, half wine, half cider, half cheese, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, I don't know. I'd go for something that contrasts and cuts through it.
Yeah. And was this beer easy for you to come by? Like, can you find this anywhere in Paris?
There are a few purveyors of fine lambic, so I could. Yeah, it's not to get a good vintage is tough. So I was quite pleased to find such a highly sought over vintage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I mean, I think I've actually seen some in Colorado, at a local tap room, and possibly also at Total Wine, but I think usually they're pretty expensive, so it's pretty nice to be able to. You can get this kind of beer at quite a reasonable price, can't you, in Paris? Like something.
Yeah, I mean, it's
decent
for special occasions, but maybe not out of control. I mean, people would readily buy wine for this price. So to have one of the best beers in the world, it's quite a treat.
These guys are great, and I mean, I guess one of their main competitors, although they probably have very friendly competitive relations, it would be Cantillon, wouldn't it? And I guess that's the argument out there is like, who is the best lambic purveyor, to use a term? Is it Dre or is it Cantillon? I don't know. I don't know if I can fully answer that question. I feel I do need to try more and try them side by side, but I think if I'm going for a Kriek, I probably want to go Dre, whereas if I want a Gers, it's a toss-up between the two. Like, that's kind of what I'm feeling, because I guess Rose de Gambrinus, the Cantillon one, it's pretty good, but like I feel the Dre Cantillons just really hit the spot in terms of that funk cherry.
I just love both, but I feel like, I don't know, I've had a lot more Cantillon than I've had Dre. I feel like Cantillon do a lot more different beers. Like, I mean, obviously they've got the different like vintages and everything, and there's loads of different vintages of all the beers. But I feel like Cantillon, for me, I've had like, I don't know, 15 maybe of their different types, whereas Dre, I've had like 4. So
yeah. I do actually have a question. So I really enjoy...
I just love both.
Yeah, for sure. I think I really enjoy the Saison style a lot, and more recently as well, just have really appreciated that farmhouse style that's funky but a little bit less acidic, but also something you can drink. You could have a couple of pints of Saison easily, right? You wouldn't have a couple of pints of this because it's
not the Kriek
intense.
style. Yeah, it's just like a couple.
Yeah. So my question for you is like, do Cantillon and Dre also do Saisons? They do, don't they? Or like blends?
I don't think they do Saison per se. It's a bit of a pun there, unintentional. But yeah, I don't know. There are some I've had from Cantillon where I'm like, I could have lots of this, where it's not too acidic. It's a lot more sessionable, and that's kind of the ones that are probably less sought over, less hype.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I would say. About Cantillon is like I see like they've got a wider range, whereas Dre is kind of all of it's kind of very serious, very high level, and
and I think the big one with Dre is Zen, isn't it? The Zeni Frontera, I think it is. That's like the big whale, isn't it?
I suppose, but yeah, if you find the right one, like the favorite one I've ever had wasn't like, I don't think it was that hyped or highly rated or whatever, but it was the right vintage at the right time, and I had it at the brewery, so that helped. A friend of mine lives not too far from there, and
it's near to Bruxelles Midi, isn't it? The main station.
No, so that Cantillon's right.
Cantillon is okay.
Yeah, and then
Dre
Fonteinen is like a town. I think it's to the south of Brussels. Kind of outskirts. It's kind of countryside, but it's very accessible if you got like a bike, or you can get there by a train. It's not too far out.
So if you're in Brussels,
doable,
and you're enjoying your Cantillon and all these other things, you just got to remember, don't forget about Dre, right?
Don't forget about Dre.
Let that silence linger. Yeah. So honestly, great beer. I would definitely go for this again. If you're at your local bottle shop and you see this style of beer, I really would recommend trying Kriek. It's one of my favourite styles. Actually, we were at a festival last Saturday at the WorldWorks Invitational Festival up in Greeley, Colorado, and we tried quite a few different beers, and we both unanimously agreed that a Kriek won it, right? And was it Holmes Kriek? I think it was BA.
Holmes Brewery from Illinois.
No, they're from Michigan.
Yeah,
Ann Arbor.
Not far. Midwest.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Yeah. Barrel aged, probably a different take on it. I found that very good, very complex, and
so good.
It was cherry, but there was vanilla, and but not too much.
I mean, to stand out with all of those beers that all of those really highly sought after beers, some incredible stouts and really intense flavors that you're having all the time at a festival. Yeah. For one beer to stand out as the best, I would find it BA Cool Shit Kriek, and the BA stands for barrel aged. From Holmes, so I would definitely go and try that. And it's this is a great beer as well for tonight, because tonight is the 4th of July. We decided
not the 3rd.
Yeah, we decided to end the night with a beer review, a 4th of July or July 4th beer review. That's how we decided to end the night. So.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
it's been great to be here. I've obviously been avidly following this channel, so it's great to.
What should people do if they would like more content from the channel? So
I feel like,
what should they do?
I mean the channel, it's not just YouTube, is it? I feel like it goes beyond YouTube. There's Instagram.
Yeah, we're growing that. Yeah.
There's Snapchat.
No.
There's not Snapchat.
No, there's not.
Okay, it must be a fake account because there's lots of people kind of imitating this channel.
What? Crazy. Other people doing beer reviews. Mental.
Doing lots of things.
Alright.
But yeah, so follow on Instagram, like
Yeah.
the post, like, comment, subscribe, click on the button like here.
Yeah,
Just
wherever
click there,
it
click
appears.
there.
Or just watch another video. And as always, please send comments. We'd love to hear from you. I would love to hear from you. I say we, it's me. But cheers, Tristan. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
That's been a
Thanks
pleasure.
for flying
It's been
in.
a pleasure. Let's turn the camera off and let's get started.